Excellent. All right. Well, good morning again, everybody. My name is Miriam Bulakir, and we're going to talk about how to build a winning marketing tech stack for your business. And we're going to talk about how to not feel overwhelmed by like ton of tools and endless features that are available out there, and kind of pick something that will help you win at the game of stacking tools and making them work for your business. All right. So, as I said, my name is Miriam Golabir, and I own Digital Marketing Experts. I've been at this game for the past 20 years, and we work with small to medium-sized businesses to come up with marketing strategies that work best for them. Okay. What are we talking about today? We're talking about what are the tech stack essentials? So your marketing tech stacks isn't just a collection of tools. It's an engine behind every campaign that you're running. It helps you with your business conversion, with your customer touch point. And it's important to have a tool that allows you to build a stack that helps you save time, money, any sort of like a headache to eliminate any tools that are overwhelming. So if you do it correctly, your tech stack should give you clarity, speed, automation, and allows you to make smarter decisions and allow you to drive by real-time data. Okay. So let's start with what does that look like? So we have a series of tools that we will be using, and everybody uses this for their business. The first one is your CRM, which is your customer relationship management. The second one is your email and marketing automation. Then we look at and the email kind of helps you to nurture and onboard and retain clients. Your analytics kind of helps you measure. I'm going to let one more person is. Analytics kind of helps you measure and impact and kind of figure out what are the winners, what helps you win at the game. Then you have your content creation and collaboration. This is when your teams kind of align and you kind of figure out who's going to be writing what, who's going to be creating which video, who's going to be creating which podcast. Then you have your SEO and paid media. This is to increase your visibility and bring traffic to your website. And then you have your customer experience. This is to engage your customers and kind of support them if they need any more help. You move forward with them and see how else you can retain them ongoingly. And then you have your integration and any sort of a middleware. This is for keeping all your tools to talk to each other. And once you put all of these together, this is how you build a healthy ecosystem. Okay. And each one of these play in different roles. So let's talk about each role that is being played. It's important to pick the right CRM. Okay. Now there's thousands of CRMs out there. I just named a few. So HubSpot, it's very intuitive. It's all in one. It's great for scaling. It's been around for about, I want to say about 15 to 20 years. It's been there. And they provide a lot of good information. Then you have Salesforce. Salesforce is fantastic for bigger enterprises. And it's enterprise ready. It's very powerful. It integrates to your chatbot on your website. It has a lot of AI tools built into it. It's a really good CRM. Zoho, it's much more budget friendly, but it also has a lot of good features that you can use. And then you have the Pipedrive. So Pipedrive is very visual. Pipedrive's very visual, and it's perfect for any small to medium-sized businesses. So what are you going to look for? You're going to look for each one of them. What are they going to provide you? So you want to make sure that they give you good contact segmentation, okay? Because every one of your contacts have a different reasoning why they are part of your contact. You have contacts that you network with, and you have contacts that you sell to, then you have potential clients as part of your contacts. So you should be able to segment that. You also want to make sure that it allows you to create pipelines, okay? Pipelines are, where are we with this customer? Are we at the top of the line, or are we in the middle of the conversation? Do we need to put them into a funnel? If we are going to put this person into a funnel, what funnel are we going to build for this person? So you want to be able to create different pipelines. All of the tools, all platforms out there will allow you to create pipelines. It's a matter of which one allows you to build it easier, more visual. If you are a visual person, I'm a visual person, I should be able to see what I'm doing. I am a visual person. I should be able to see what I'm doing. Sorry, it just a message popped up, so I had to click on that. Also, reporting, is that something that they offer? You want to be able to look at reports. And you want to make sure that there are certain integrations that are available into it, because not everyone's going to use the same email tool that HubSpot offers. Some people have MailChimp or they have Constant Contact. So you want to be able to kind of integrate any sort of an email. If you're going to be building any forms, or if you already have a form on your website, how do you integrate that form into your CRM? So if they fill in that form, how is that going to be added into your CRM? You also want to be able to integrate into any ads that are available, Google ads, Bing ads, Meta ads, LinkedIn ads. If you're running any ads, you want to be able to kind of integrate that into your CRM. And chatbots, remember that. A lot of people, most of us have chatbots on our websites. And if you don't have a chatbot, it's a really good idea to purchase one and put it on your website. And some of these CRMs do have their own chatbot, or they connect to an existing chatbot. And you want to pick a CRM that aligns with your team size and your growth goals. Okay. I'm a big fan of Zoho because I have a much smaller team. And it works well for my team. And every time you add someone into the team, remember, there's some of the tools, some of the CRMs, there's a fee attached to it where you have to pay a bit more to add an additional person into your team, into your CRM. Okay, marketing automation tools are also another part of your tech stack that you have to be on top of. Okay, so these are tools that keep your leads warm and engaged. What are some of these tools that are well known? Well, ActiveCampaign is a big one. It's a really good automation plus CRM. I'm not a big fan of their CRM. I'm more of a fan of their automation piece, but it does integrate into certain CRMs that if they're an existing CRM. Klaviyo is fantastic. It sends out emails. It creates sales funnels for you. It's great for behavioral triggering and figuring out how each one of your clients behave. It's good. It has an insanely fantastic integration with e-commerce, so I highly recommend it. MailChimp, I use MailChimp for my business. They just introduced an SMS plan into, having the email piece as well. So you have the email piece, they have the AI piece, and now they just introduced SMS. So if you want to send out any sort of an SMS, you can use MailChimp as well. It's very easy to use. It's not just easy to use, it's cost effective as well. And then you have the iterable, and this is a really good, it has a really strong AI built into it, and it's great for segmenting your users and figuring out which one of these users are easier to work with. They have pieces, each one of these automation tools, what we're looking for is how we're going to use this. Do they offer automated welcome sequences? This is when someone shows up to your website, or if you're sending them an email or an SMS, what does that welcome sequence looks like? So welcome sequence is, hi, how are you? Thank you for visiting our website. Second email that will be sent out, we saw that you roamed our website, but you haven't, gone to our promotion page. Here are the existing promotions that we have on our website. The second piece into it that we want to make sure that we add into our automation tools is cart abandonment flows. This is when they come to your website and you have an e-commerce website, they want to buy something, but they just leave it in the cart. So it's called cart abandonment. So how are we going to bring them back? In some cases, you can send them an email. In certain cases, you can send them SMS. We've even worked with a company out in Aurora, Ontario, where as soon as you leave the website, They had an integration built in where you would get a postcard in the mail saying you have left something in your shopping cart. So there's different ways to build that abandonment flow. Shopify has a really strong abandonment flow tools built in that you can integrate into your Klaviyo or even into your MailChimp. So take a look at that as an option. You want to make sure that you have behavioral triggers set up as well. So what is the behavioral trigger? Behavioral trigger is I've seen your website, I've showed up, I've gone to one particular page and I roamed around, but I didn't touch anything. But then I've gone to other pages of your website for that one particular product in different sizes or different shapes. So my behavior shows that I'm here for this one particular product. Or once you looked at your Google Analytics, you saw that I have come into your website and I meet your target audience age group or target audience behavior as to that I've come from a shopping background, that I was shopping on other websites. So that trigger kind of helps you create an email that is very specific and customized to me. You want to set up cross-channel flows. So this means that you want to set up your emails, your SMS, and just push the information out. Don't over push. Don't be too much, because that's when you end up in people's junk box. So you have to think it through as to what am I going to create? How am I going to create this workflow or this, this channel that I want to create, this flow? How am I going to segment this audience so that they can see what I'm saying to them, but they don't feel like that I'm pushing it to them? Once you figure out your marketing automation tool, then you have to look at your analytics tools. So what are the good analytics tools that are out there? Google Analytics 4, it's an amazing tool. It's for free. Take full advantage of it. If you don't have it set up on your website, make sure you go today and you set up your analytics on your website. Your analytics is one of the most important parts of your website. Looker Studio is a Google product that allows you to look at this analytics report in more of like a visual way. You can look at pie charts. You can look at, little blobs on the map to see if this is something that, if you care about traffic that's coming from, let's say, Ontario, you can see a blob on the map that shows that there's more people coming from Ontario. Hotjar is a heat map. So when you attach it to your website, you can kind of visually see where people's mouse moves around your website, which part of your website has the most amount of traffic and which part doesn't. Triple Whale is designed for e-commerce. It kind of breaks down how people interacted with each one of your products. Did they make it to the checkout line? Did they stop at the cart? How many cared about certain sizes? How many cared about the quantity? And it provides you with an overall breakdown of what this does. So areas you want to focus on is where the leads and sales are coming from. You want to look at the funnel drop-off point. So your funnel is when I show up to your website till the moment I leave your website. So if your funnel is that I have to come to your website, read about your services, fill up a form, and then leave, you want to see where I dropped off, where I spent the least amount of time, where were my least amount of engagement, where were my most amount of engagement, so you can capitalize on that and grow that. You want to look at your campaign performances to see, did I buy something from this particular campaign you were running on Facebook, or did I buy from the campaign you were running on Google Ads? And that kind of breaks down, okay, well, Google Ads doing much better than Meta. Let's, shift the money and see how that works. You want to look at the lifetime value by channel. This means that I'm a customer. What is my value to you? So let's say I am considered a customer because I have bought products from you 5 times on your website. So what you do is you take what I bought and then you see, well, where did Miriam come from? Did Miriam come from direct? Did she look at an ad that brought her over, or did she come from social media? So wherever I'm coming from, you want to see what's my value to you. So if I bought 5 products and each one of your products are worth $1, I'm worth $5 of the life value that I have right now. So if you times that, let's say the life of your website is going to be another 10 years, you time that to the next 10 years, how many times am I potentially going to buy that? You want to look at me from which area I came from. If I come from your ads, maybe you want to, boost your ads, or if I come from any other locations, how you're going to boost that. I add these tagging systems to all of the ads or any of the pages of your website. It's called UTMs. And UTMs kind of tell us, well, this link was set up for this ad and it brought the most amount of traffic. And these UTMs are easy to set. Google loves them. And when we run ads, we attach them to each one of the ads that we run. Let's talk about content and collaboration tools. Content is the king, and basically everybody's using ChatGPT or Jasper to use their AI generated content. Got to be a little careful with using ChatGPT and Jasper. You want to make sure that the information this is creating for you is accurate. It's not a ghost information. It's very on par with what you're trying to say, that it comes from a place that it's reliable. Another thing you want to make sure is that the content you create, it kind of matches your brand. I say this all the time. If you've been part of my webinars, you hear this all the time. Make sure your content matches your brand. Make sure your content matches your business value and your business messaging. Use Grammarly to make sure that there's no grammar errors and there's no issues with what you're writing. If you're using design, use Canva. They have really good templates. Adobe Express is another really good one. Figma is fantastic for any sort of a prototyping that you want to do, or any sort of a collaborative design that you want to create. If you're looking for any sort of a project management tools, Notion is really good. It has a really good database built into it, and it gives you back a lot of products, a lot of documents as well. ClickUp, Trello, and Asana are fantastic for collaborations with others. We use Trello because we have individuals that work from home sometimes, and or that we contract to them. So we give them access to our Trello, and they will produce all the content that they have or any sort of a design, and they just push it into Trello. So we know for each client what was created based on that design. We're an SEO company. We do paid ads and we do SEO. So when we tell you to use SEMrush or Ahrefs, we've used them. It works really well for us. They're great for keyword research, for backlink tracking, to get a report on your SEO, to see how well you're doing. It's a little, as SEMrush is a little pricey. Surfer SEO is pretty good as well. ClearScope's good as well. I personally like SEMrush much better. It's pricier, but the information I get is much more honed down and particular to my business. ClearScope and Surfer SEO are fantastic for content optimization because they have a really strong AI built into them. For ads, we run Google Ads and Meta Ads and LinkedIn Ads. AdSpresso is another one that allows you to do kind of simplifies ad testing. Meta, as you know, it's good for social media. So you can use it for Instagram, and you can use it for Facebook. And if you are using WhatsApp, it's a really good tool to kind of get that lead generation going on WhatsApp as well. Google Ads, search, display, YouTube, YouTube Connected, Shop Ads, merchants. They're all really good tools to use through your Google Ads. And you want to focus on a platform that allows you to do A/B testing, which means you run 2 separate campaigns and test them against each other and see which one does better, and allows you to do to adjust fast, which means if you don't like what's happening, you are able to make the change today, and the change is in effect by the next day the most. Okay, let's talk about some customer experience and chatbots. A lot of people have incorporated chat to their website. Now, this only works if you are available to answer that conversation, and that you have put in some sort of like a time frame that allows this individual that's on your website know that I'm available to talk to you, but I'm only available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Post 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm not available. Send me an email. Let's talk about some of the top tools. Intercom and Drift, we use Drift. We love Drift. Drift has an app for your desktop, for Mac or PC. It has a mobile app as well. So if someone's on my website, I see it on my desktop, I see it on my phone, and my team members also see it on their phone and their desktop as well. So if I'm not available, someone's available to message them. Intercom has the same feature as well. Zendesk is a very ticketing system based like. So you have to open a ticket, and then the person that's on the other end will get the ticket, looks at the ticket, and then responds via email. So if that's not something your customers are going to want, take a look at that. Tidio is fantastic as well. Tidio has a really good, affordable chatbot, and it has live chat, and you can set up an SMS system with them as well. It's fantastic for e-commerce. It does really well. Drift also does really well on e-commerce as well. So what do you want to use these for? Well, you want to capture that lead. You want to kind of automate a lot of your frequently asked question pieces so that you can kind of qualify this person before you get on a call with them. You want to personalize the support. So if I'm saying, hey, this is John and John wants to talk to you, I want to talk to you about a service that you have, you can then respond back with, hey, John, how can I help you? And yes, we can totally help you with this particular service that you're looking for. You want to do chat to email or chat to CRM workflows. They're fantastic to design, easy to integrate. All of these chat tools that we talked about, they all have integration with all the top all the top CRM systems out there. And what you want to do is you want to create a frictionless experience that kind of feels like there's a human at the other end and not a robot. I was at a seminar down in Toronto a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago actually, and this gentleman showed up and he was showing us this AI voice. He called a number, AI came on, and they had a full conversation. It sounded like a human being on the other end. All the questions, the flow of the conversation, her answering the frequently asked questions, her answering random questions. So we're almost there. We're almost there with the AI piece, and making it more feel like a human. So you want to take a look at what features are available and what chatbots can potentially give you that feature down the line. You always want to look at what's going to happen 5 years down the line with this chatbot, because if I'm spending money now, am I going to be able to use it in 5 years, or do I have to look for something brand new? Sorry. Okay, so how are we going to make it all work together? And usually this is where, a lot of teams get stuck. What you got to do is you're going to have to map your customer journey. Okay. What am I trying to do? Am I trying to make them aware of who are we and, what we want them to do for us? What awareness about our business we want to give them? Do we want them to consider us? And how do we want them to consider us? What's the plan? Do we want them to purchase something from us, whether it's a service or product? And what does loyalty look like to us? Does it mean that they're going to come back and stay with us? Or do we care? Do we not even care if it's a loyalty program? They can go and we don't care. You also want to assign a tool to each step. So step one, if we're talking about awareness, well, awareness means that we need to have SEO on the top, right? So search engine optimization always stays on the top. Then you have your CRM and emails in the middle, because this is where you collect that information for the consideration and purchase, correct? And then for loyalty and even purchase and loyalty, because you're going to have questions and they need support, chat and support sit at the bottom. Okay, so the top is SEO, middle is CRM and email, and then chat and support sit at the bottom. So when you map this out and you assign the tool to it, now we got to figure out, how do we integrate between all of that? Like what are we going to use for integration between all of that? So you want to keep the data flowing. Hold on a second, sorry. You want to keep the data flowing and figure out who your audiences are, and kind of figure out how are we going to tag this audience, and how are we going to assign them to, certain triggers that we want them to do, right? And then you also want to align any sort of a particular audience list that you have across all your platforms. So let's use an example. If you're running a Google ad and you have a CRM with HubSpot, what you could do is you can use either Zapier or Make to kind of integrate all your ads to your CRM. Okay, Zapier is it has a free version, and it also has a paid version. So let's say that's the integration part. Now I'm going to sync the data. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say all of my ads are running for people, or my target audiences are women between the age of 45 to 55. Okay, now I am saying that's who I'm running the ads for. When that comes through the integration on the other end, which is going to my CRM, I want to open a box in my CRM and say, every ad, all of these ads that I'm running, it's bringing this particular target audience, tag them. So I can know that this particular audience group that I got is from this particular ad that I was running. And then I wanted the trigger event would be that it's an ad. And I want to list this audience in its own little group, okay, across all my platforms. The reason you want to do this is because as your business grows and as your services list grows, you want to be able to say, I have run ads towards 25 to 45, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55. These ads that I ran did better with the 25 to 45, 25 to 35 between ages of women. This particular other set of ads that I did very well with my SEO for this particular target audience. So when you know, and when you look at it as a whole, when you step back and look at it, then it's easier to understand who your exact target audience is and which ad group works best for you. Okay. You also want to test end to end. This is from the first click that they show up to your website to the last sale. You want to make sure that everything works correctly. And this is, it's very important. I'm going to put this on our website. Download this. It has all of the notes that I'm talking about. Just add it into the notes section as well. What you're trying to do is you want to make this into a simple funnel. Okay, so if I'm getting you to come to my website from the first click through my Facebook ads, okay, that means that I know who you are. I've already tagged you on my data. I know where you're coming from. Now I want to see, where do you go to get to the product that I'm trying to sell? And when you get to the product that I'm trying to sell, did you buy it? And when you did buy it, was everything seamless? And if it was, this is now our funnel. We're going to use it as a funnel. Now, how are we going to build the template? So what we want to do is, sorry, I'm going to move this out of the way. Here we go. We want to build a template for our business, okay? So a lot of the times, what happens is that we look at things and we're like, well, this is the plan I have. I figured it out. I'm going to get it going. But I think it's easier to build a template. So let's say that I want a note-taking. So if I'm a startup, what do I want to do? I want to make sure that I have as a startup, I want to be able to find something that's easy to manage. Then I don't have a lot of clients, so I want something that's lean and easy to manage. Then I need it to be cost effective because I don't have a lot of money. But I also want it to be scaling and growing as I grow. Okay, so what tools can I use? Well, let's start with Notion, because that's a really easy one to for your CRM or for your data collection. MailerLite is another really good tool you can use because it's cost effective. It doesn't cost anything. And then Google Analytics is for free. Canva has a free version. And our goal is to keep the low cost and then eventually grow out of that. Canva, you can buy the higher version, the more expensive version, and then Google Analytics are free, so it can grow for your business as much as you want. And Notion, you can always switch that over to any other platform for CRM. For e-commerce, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're looking at Shopify. Shopify is a really good tool to have for e-commerce. Klaviyo is a fantastic marketing automation tool to add into the bunch. And then GA4 is Google Analytics. And then, ads like you also want to add like Google ads, Meta ads, Facebook and Instagram into it as well. I would add in Google ads into it as well. It's cost effective. And then you want to do Hotjar, because Hotjar shows you where people are going and how they're interacting with your website. What's the goal? Well, we care about conversion here and how are we going to retarget this exact customer and create a life cycle kind of email where they keep coming back. Let's look at a SaaS company. Well, what do they need? They need a HubSpot because they have much bigger, database of customers. Intercom is a really good tool for them to use as well, or Segment. And then Looker Studio allows them to kind of make it look pretty and kind of showcase who's coming to their website, how is this working for them, and what's the retention? Are we keeping people? If we're keeping them, what's the retention percentage on that? And kind of look at product usage and analytics to see if it works or not. If you own an agency, Notion's a really good one. Use MailChimp and Canva because you want to create a lot of beautiful designs and get them to come and look at things. Let's look at a case study together. So there's a mid-size DTC skincare company, and this is a direct-to-consumer skincare company. And they have, what their problem was that they had multiple disconnected tools, and their campaigns were very slow. They didn't work really well, and they didn't have any unified information as to who's coming to our website, what's happening. So what they did was they replaced 6 tools and integrated with 3 integrated platforms. So they took all the 6 tools, they just used 3, and then they ununified analytics, and they made sure that they're only using one consolidated analytics tool, and they integrated that into their CRM, and they standardized their automation workflow. What did they get in return? Well, they got 50% faster reporting, and they got 30% increase in their campaign efficiency. And they got better segmentation, higher email open rate, and then the conversion rate went up as well. Here are some of the common mistakes everybody makes. So we all have this disease called shiny object syndrome. We buy what we don't use. Everybody does it. The other thing we do is there's no onboarding. So we should call whoever we buy any tools or integration from and say, hey, onboard me, teach me how to do it, and I'm going to have my team there to train with you. If you fail to train your team, it's a wasted budget. So ask for onboarding. Make sure that they're training you on everything. If it's too complex, too soon, make it simple and scale as needed. If you only need one thing in that CRM right now, stick with that one thing in CRM. Grow as you grow. You also don't want dirty data, okay? This is the lack of tag structure. So always tag your data, because if you don't, then it becomes unreliable reporting. You want to make sure that you know who's coming to your website, where they're coming from, and make sure that it's important to your business, what's important to the growth of your business. So every tool should have a purpose, and you should be able to measure results. If they're not giving you results measuring tools, then you should question it. Okay, let's look at a couple of the quick wins for the Smarter Stack. So you want to run a tool audit. This is where you list every platform you're using and then look at it and say, what is this doing for me? What is it not doing? Why is it working or why it's not working? You also want to look for overlaps, okay? Because if you're paying for something that has a duplicated feature with another tool that you're using, why are we doing this? Let's look at what's making sense and streamline and get rid of things that don't make sense. You want to build a simple funnel dashboard. This is where it starts with your Google Analytics, and then you add in your Looker Studio to kind of see, okay, what am I doing here? Am I getting the right users? How long are they staying on my website? What's their bounce rate? What's their engagement rate? Which channel acquisition did they come from? Did they come from my YouTube ads? Did they come from my directly from word of mouth, or it's from Google, which is my SEO? And then once you look at that, then you can make a decision. Okay, this makes sense. I can see that I'm bringing the right group of people. You can even break it down as far as how old are these individuals? What's their gender, if that matters to you. And then you want to consolidate vendors. So too many tools, a lot of vendors offer like an overall suite for like everything. So if you can go to a vendor and be like, this is what I need. I need a marketing automation tool. I need an analytics and I need a CRM. Do you have something that offers all these things into one, and I want to consolidate it, and I want to make sure that this is one thing I'm using one thing. I want to use one thing, and for this one thing to work for me. And most times when you get a rep on a line and get on a phone with them, they'll consolidate and give you one thing that makes sense. Okay, let's talk about our final thoughts on this presentation. You want to make sure that you follow with simplicity. Okay, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Make it simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. There's enough things for us to get overwhelmed with. We don't need our stacking to be overwhelming. Don't let tech slow you down. Okay, it has to amplify your strategy. So you want to make sure that you already have a marketing plan or a marketing strategy before you go tech shopping. Okay, build your stack around your business process, not the other way around. Whatever your process is has to be, and this is why it's important to have a marketing plan. This is why it's important to have a business plan, because when you write it down, you go back and you look at it and say, this is my business process. What stack works for this? All right. Any questions? And I'm going to open, everybody can ask questions. Let me just get to, there we go. Ask away, guys. Was that a lot? I think it was a lot. All right. I guess there was no questions. Hold on, let me see the chat. Is there any questions on the chat? Sorry. Okay, sorry, I can't get to the chat. Oh my God. There we go. What is intercom? Intercom is it's another AI tool that allows you to basically automate your it's fantastic for automation. You're automating your content. And it has a good integration with Zendesk. So you can look at I'm going to send you this. Hold on. There we go. How do I do this? Here we go. I put a link to their website. All right. Any other questions? All right, I'm going to put this on our website. Feel free to connect with me if you have any additional questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Have a fantastic day, everyone.